producer app or something. I don't know. Am I live? Oh. Hi. Am I live? Karina here, your Lucid Living coach. Who's all out there? Should I invite people? Is this working? Am I being heard? Seems a bit glitchy. I don't know why I'm blinking on and off. I am live. Let me just check on my phone real quick. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. I'm on. You can see me? Can you hear me? Can someone type something? I'm not sure what's going on here. This is all new to me. Okay, perfect. Let me see if I can hear myself. Or something. I don't know. I could hear myself. Can you hear me? Okay, it's a little delayed. But anyways, hi people out there in Facebook friend land. Today is a very interesting day, especially for us Leos, because the moon is in Leo, meaning it is a full moon for us Leos, where us Leos can be feeling a completion happening, maybe a little bit of anxious energy, like any full moon. So it's really intense for us Leos. We have this Jupiter conjunct Pluto. Exactly. So Jupiter is the biggest planet of our solar system. It's very powerful and it has a lot of energy. It's about envisioning what is possible, and it's really optimistic. But because it's hanging out with Pluto in Capricorn, Pluto is it's about eliminating deep emotional attachments, okay? And we have a lot of deep emotional attachments to our money, our possessions, our homes, our jobs, because these are all forms of our identity. And some people over identify their self with what they do and what they have. This is expanding this area, and it's kind of clearing this type of attachments out, regardless of whether we want it or not. There is a sense of death, because Pluto does rule death, and there is this death being magnetized and expanded in this area of our chart. So it depends on where it is in your chart, but Capricorn itself rules the 10th house of career and our legacy and work in the world. And so with that being said, we are all being put on our divine purpose. And I thought it was kind of a sweet little coincidence today when I was on a walk. We had found a little genie in a bottle. And if you're my Facebook friend, you will see that on my post. But it was this bottle that had salt in it, maybe some sand, some shells, and a little rolled up note. And I found 2 of them on our walk today. And on the outside of the bottle, it says the universe is always conspiring for your success. And so this was a message from God, from divinity, from the universe to me. And it's something I really needed to hear. But because it got in the right hands, I'm sharing it with the rest of you because this is a message for everyone right now. Everyone, because we're all feeling the intensity. We're all going through the stress of and the challenges of the unknown and what it feels to live in the new world, which is very unsettling and it's very unstable, and things are always changing, evolving at very high rates. So with that being said, I'd like to read one of the bottles. It says, "Dear loved one, you are divinity personified. You have a job to do here on this planet that only you can do. Gaia is waiting for you." That's Mother Earth. It is time to walk in your purpose. To truly are. You are not behind. You are right on time. So I thought that was beautiful. And I would like to read the other one. The other bottle I found, which was by the same person, it says, "Dear loved one, you are divine. The universe has your back and is always conspiring for your success. You are exactly where you are supposed to be for such a time as this. Remember who you are. The earth is waiting for you. It's time to share your purpose." Okay, so if I were to walk by this cute little message in a bottle, and let's say I was so afraid to touch it because of the coronavirus, or because that there might be some drugs in there that's going to get in my pores, and all this fear. Oh, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Okay, that is the old world. That is what they're feeding you on the media right now. Now, I don't play into that. I know that I am protective. I am protected by something higher than myself. And that bottle was put there for me. And when I picked it up and I unrolled that and I read that, it was beautiful. I'm still alive. I'm not sick. I wasn't what's it called? Drugged with drugs that people do. But I got the message, and the message was beautiful. Okay. So imagine if you were to walk by that bottle and never have got that message because you're so fearful and you don't believe that there's good people in the world. You just see the negative. So we have 2 options. We can see the negative in the world, or we can see the positive in the world. And understanding the laws of physics, which state that there's dichotomy and balance in the universe. Where there is a positive, there is a negative. That's how the magnets work, right? You have 2 opposing energies that come together, okay, and they stick. So this is the laws of physics. So for each bad or negative person that you think is out there, there's equally the amount of positive and good people. So with that being said, we have a choice to either focus on the light. We can focus on the God aspect of humanity, or we can focus on the negative and the dark and the bad people. So you have a choice. And remember, wherever you wherever your focus goes, energy flows. So remembering that that is the laws of the universe. Also, the law of attraction. Alike and alike frequencies attract one another. So remembering, okay, let's say for an example, when we would watch TV back in the days when I had a TV, when I was like 16. I don't know if TVs still do this, but if the TV was on and you were vacuuming around and near the TV, it would kind of flicker. Okay. So it's because it was on the same wavelength. So that's what I'm talking about. Energies that are in the same wavelength, they attract each other. So whatever energy that you're putting out there and whatever that you're focusing your energy on is only going to magnify. So keeping that in mind. Now, the positive thing that I see in the chart is that Mars is now ahead of Saturn. And Mars is the masculine planet, and it is our passion, it's our drive, it's our yeah, I mean that's all it really is. It's ruled, the Aries energy, and it's cardinal. It wants to go, right? And it's past Saturn, which Saturn is the blocks, it's the restrictions. So now it's feeling free, okay? And when it's in Aquarius, this is really activating that Uranian energy. It's the air, the intellect. We're thinking now. Our minds are starting to think. It's all catching up. Now we're like, oh my God, this is really happening. Like another fucking month of not having an income or not getting paid or not being able to like go out, or like maybe because we are at the third, we're all thinking about our mortgages are due, our fucking rent's due. Like, what the fuck? Like, how am I going to make this happen? I haven't seen any, give outs from the government yet. I don't know if anyone else has. Is anyone getting their unemployment yet? But for all those that haven't, we're really feeling it. But understanding that this is all in divine order and purpose as to where the universe is really guiding the collective. And so far, there is good things, about all of this as far as for our Earth. It seems like the animals are having a good time. It looks like that the skies are pretty clear. A lot of the pollution has subsided. So there is a positive for this, and that is going to help the Earth kind of slow the process of any kind of like destructive weather, because we're in a geomagnetic storm today. The KP shot up to 4. So that was probably from the coronal hole facing Earth last week. And these coronal hole of the sun has gotten bigger. So the duration of the geomagnetic storm is kind of prolonged because this is the second spike this week. And with the sun is, the sun's going to be flipping its polarity, I think, in 2023. And the Earth is also on its way of shifting its magnetic North Pole, which used to be strongest in Canada, and now it's found in Siberia, and we don't really know how fast that's going. But where we used to check the meters once a year, we're checking now twice a year to see where the magnetic North Pole is, because it's moving so rapidly. So if anything, to me, this is slowing down the process a little bit, which can, help us hopefully figure out some solutions before that shift does happen, because we need to start preparing for that shift. What else do I want to talk about? Well, the sun's in Aries, and the full moon is coming up on Tuesday in Libra. Now, Libra's ruler is Venus, okay? And Venus just popped into Gemini at 0 degrees. 0 degrees is a crucial degrees of Gemini. We are feeling the anxiety because there's a lot of air going on. There's a lot of intellect. There's a lot of stimulation in our fucking noggins up here, where it has been kind of like in a zombie-like state for the last 2 months while it was transiting Pisces, the water, where it was in detriment. It was debilitated. It wasn't thinking clearly. It was in a bunch of fucking like illusion, delusion, not really seeing things clearly. And now we're starting to see things like super clear. It's like reality. It's like reality bites. The shit hits the fan. And we're like, fuck. I'm not going to lie. It's been challenging for me, and I'm fucking usually okay. Like I'm just skippity doodah and stuff. So it's definitely this energy kicking in. I'm pulling up the chart for today. I have the full moon chart, but the thing is right now, what is rising is Libra, which is about partnerships, right? It is about, it's about the balancing of the light and dark. And that's why I was talking about, seeing the dichotomy. You know, we have a choice because Libra full moon is going to be shedding some big time lights on our partnerships. What partnerships are working for us? Partnerships are more than marriage. It's business. It's your partner. It's your relationship that you have with your bosses. It is your relationship that you have with your finances. It's a relationship that you have with your friends, your family, your romantic partnerships as well. Who are you going to keep in your life in the new world? These are the questions that that this energy is building up to. Who do you want to keep in your life? Who do you want to remove from your life? And it could be a job, it could be a person, it could be a relationship that you have with a thing. So that is, it's about keeping your balance and mutuality through conscious action in relationships. With this Libra full moon, we have it rising right now, so we're kind of getting a piece of what is going on. Jupiter's conjunct Pluto too, which is creating a lot of this transformation. We're stepping into our purpose. We're starting to see and feel and experience what our superpowers are, why we incarnated here, and we need to get together and start making change if we're not starting to see it, because we don't really want a one world order that we're seeing right now. Like, this is not okay. I have talked to a couple people in the hospitals which have not seen a whole lot, but they're just hearing about it. There is definitely some things that we're not seeing clearly. There's definitely deaths going on. There's definitely a virus going on. And there's definitely some uncertainty around all of that. I'm not saying that it's like bogus or bunk or whatever, a hoax. It's definitely happening, but there's a lot that is being blown out of proportion, and a lot of fear mongering and a lot of focus on the negative. So with that being said, we have to also come together and use our noggins, and we need to think about our future and how we're going to navigate this new world, and how we're going to navigate if the leaders are being deceitful, and if our leaders are turning their backs on us, what are we going to do? How will they be reprimanded for their actions? Because this isn't okay. In my opinion, this is not okay, especially for those that can't think critically or logically, or are that are have anxieties. Or how about, and this is one of the things also that has bugged me that I've been seeing from the last, I don't know how long, the pharmaceutical companies have been pressuring people to be on a lot of drugs. And there are some people that need it, and there are some people that don't. And there are some people that just needed to shift what they're eating, taking certain supplements, getting on an exercise regimen. There's so many other alternatives to anxiety, depression, and other things that us humans go through, because we are emotional, right? When we have a baby, they cry, they laugh the next minute, and that is okay. And that's what we do naturally. We're all trained and born to say that we're supposed to be numb and be little robots and do what we're told and not have emotion to react to shit that's going on, right? So what I'm trying to say is that what happens to all the people that have been put on a drug that they didn't need, that is highly addicting or addictive, or you need it to stay alive, and we're not getting those resources. What happens then? And I've been thinking about this, and this is why I never got on any of that, no matter how much difficulty I've had to go through, is because I didn't want to be reliant on something that could be so easily taken away. That means by someone. I'm allowing someone to have power and dominion over me. I need them. I don't want that. And nor should you. You should protect yourself. And if there's alternatives that you could do to try before to get on a drug that you have to have, would be my advice. Like, I know some people, I already disclosed it, but let me just reiterate that there are some people that need it. I have a degree in psychology. There are some really sick people that need drugs, right? For their insanity, for their insanity, and to keep sane. But I'm just saying that we're giving too much power to the people that are in power and the elite, like the pharmaceutical companies. They could just shut down shop and just say, okay, now we'll just tell them that we're out of this fucking drug. And then that's going to just kill off more people or make more people anxious. And because, like, the thing is when you take a drug, pretty much it's letting your brain that usually does the work just take a rest. So if you're not working out a muscle, what happens? It gets weak. Your muscle disappears. And that's the same with our brain. We have synaptic gap, and when you take a drug, it fills it, and then you have the uptakers. But when the drug is doing that for you, your brain doesn't do it. So if your muscle's not being exercised, then it's not going to produce like it used to. So when you went in before you started taking the drugs, okay, you take the drugs, okay, and you feel better because it's doing the work for you, right? It'd be like someone else lifting the weights. You don't feel like, hey, this is okay. They're lifting the weights and my body's starting to look good or whatever, right? But then once you get off the drug after already taking it, you're actually worse off than where you were before taking it. Okay. So I just want to make that clear for anyone that wasn't aware. These are the things that worry me, and they worry me because I care about people. I care about humanity, and I see the corruption, and I see the things that do happen that we need to protect ourselves. But I also see all the good people in the world, right? To me, there's very few bad because I see a lot of good in people. But those are just things that have been on my mind that I wanted to express. So, who how are we going to take our power back? So, how are you guys doing out there? Yeah. Hey, the world's never going to be the same. The old world is dying, the new world is building, and the elites are getting really scared because we as a collective are smarter now. We've took our power back. All the young people, those are evolved souls that came back to help humanity. So they're all super enlightened. They're all star seeds. They're all awake. They're not sleeping. Pretty much, it's just like you have the elite and the powerful that put us asleep, and our televisions put you to sleep. Those little lights, and I'm sure now our phones will be, especially with this 5G. So don't go to sleep. Stay awake. Stay mindful, because the majority, that's if we can have a majority, they're the most powerful. We rule the roost, right? Because if we're not buying into their bullshit, or we're not buying into, if we're not buying, if we're not shopping, then they're not making any money. So we're the consumers. Consumer Reports now. Okay, the new world is the age of Aquarius. We are in a different age, and one that we've never seen before. This is the new world. We are in a new world. The old world is gone. It's I mean, right now it's gone. We got to build a new system and structures, but the old world system and structures are not working. We all know, right? Our kids are way smarter than what they're teaching in our schools. It's like dumbing them down. That's why they're bored as shit. They're like, "Oh, your kid has ADD." You're like, "No, it's actually just my kid's really smart and way smarter than your curriculum here, and they're bored." But then they're like, "Oh no, we need to get your kid on Ritalin and all these drugs to dumb their fucking minds down." Don't do it. I would be mad if my mom put me on any drugs when I was a kid. I think I should have the choice whether I want to be on that shit or not. That's my opinion. But yeah, those systems are crumbling. So that's the old world. So I'm an exennial. So I'm between worlds. So I was raised analog, and I'm an adult digital. So the exennials bridge the gap between the old world and the new world. So we see both sides. And I talk a little bit about that in my book that's being released in June. I wrote a chapter in a book. And I talk a little bit about the old and the new world. And yeah, so thanks for asking. Hi, Frida. Do I think the government wants to kill us? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really know them personally, but I don't trust them. I don't trust any of those mofos. Do you think they care about us? Nah. They care about their power and their paycheck. Tell you that. I don't know. We're just numbers to them. They have little spies. They're called Alexas. They have our phones, which are spies. They collect data. So then they take that data and they sell you shit. We're a consumer here in the United States. We're all consumers. You know what consumers are? They're black holes that suck in light. We're the last ones to awaken here on Earth, I'll tell you that. Because I've traveled around the world. There is nice, enlightened souls out there struggling. You think we're struggling? This is someone's daily life. Since the day they were born. When I was in Nepal, there was rolling blackouts every 20 minutes. Could you imagine trying to get something done on the damn computer? All the lights just shut out. We just tasted a piece of it last year. That could be our regular lives right here, you know? PG&E is going bankrupt. Last year, I read an article about that, and the government's like, well, because of all the solar storms and all these fires that the towers are creating, they're going to have to be all stored underground. So you guys need to come up with some resources to make that happen. And PG&E's like, well, we're bankrupt. We don't really have the money to put all of the towers underground. So they might just sell PG&E to the government. So now PG&E is going to have control over the government's going to have control over PG&E. I don't know how far PG&E goes. I know it's in my area. I know it's not up in Tahoe. I think they use charter or something like that. But there's definitely so PG&E is the old world. They're bankrupt. What's the new world? Solar, batteries. Some people have solar panels. Most people have solar panels on their house. Gas is the old world. That's why it's so cheap right now. It's a part of the old world is going bye-bye. What's a part of the new world? Energy efficient cars, electric, battery operated. Let me know if you'd like a private session, private reading. That's what I do. I'm an astrologist and life coach. So this is all being looked at. The old world, bye-bye. The new world, hello. Okay? So what happens when the old world goes bye-bye? And everything I just listed, that's the old world, right? Gas, PG&E, corporate monopolies. What happens? Those that are in power, and they get the power from having their hands and their stocks and their resources in these old world systems that are crumbling. And if you look at the government, they're all old because they're a part of the old world. They're trying to keep their old world systems in play for the new world. Like all of us, we're all new world born. Like I'm almost 40. So this is still, like I'm like right in between the old world and the new world. So we have all these younger kids like in their 30s and 20s. We're most of the population. This generation, Xennial, millennial, Y, I don't know. There's all kinds, right, under me now because I'm old. I'm getting old. But what happens? They want to destroy and create fear because they don't want to go down with the old world, right? Because if they can keep us in fear, they can keep us shopping at Walmart, which, they're open. Keep us buying gas. Oh, they lowered the gas, so we'll go buy it, but we're not going anywhere. We can't go anywhere. All these things then they can continue being in power and having lots of money. Okay. So that's my perception. This is my opinion, and everyone has a right to their own opinion and their own perception. So, yeah. Well, someone's going to take over the towers, the PG&E towers, which is probably going to be the government, and they're going to we're probably going to end up being taxed for it if the government's going to take over PG&E, and they're going to put all these the towers underground because of the evolution of Earth, because we're having solar storms, and it creates very high winds that knock over the towers and spark towers, and then they create fires. So that was one reason. Or maybe the government just wants more power. So they told them to do that, and the company can't do it. So they're just going to give it away. But yeah. So I just hope that people wake up, because you know what? I can't do it by myself. And nor can 100 people do it by themselves. But if we could share information, share this video, if you believe and you want to continue the information, that's the only way. Because I built this lucid living movement in 2017, not knowing why. I was just guided to do it. Why? I've been building it so it actually has some kind of name or a hashtag and a home for people to go, because I have a feeling why Spirit wanted me to create a movement. So I'm in the movement of evolution and taking our power back and creating the new world and not moving backwards. That's my movement. To encourage everyone to take their power back, because they have incarnated here for a purpose, their divine soul's purpose, something that makes you excited, something that makes you feel alive, things where you're being authentic and true. That is your purpose. You are not on purpose if you're upset, if you're cranky all the time, if you don't want to go to work, if you feel like you have to silence your voice and not speak your truth, that is not being on purpose. So that's what my movement is. And if you would like to donate anything, my Venmo is at Lucid Living Coach. And if you would like to support me in any way, I'm doing readings. I could do card readings, and I could do astrology chart readings, looking at your birth chart, where that's your soul's DNA. And I could look at where your nodes are. That's one of your divine purpose. This is where you're moving away from, where you're heading to. I could let you know a lot of things, where all these houses are. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to end this broadcast. I kind of want to pick a card. It has been taken away. Our freedom has been taken away, but we got to take it back, because this virus isn't going to last forever. Okay. So, but you know what can last forever is our government trying to continue to control and take our freedom away. And that's what I'm not going to be down for. That's what I'm not down for. I'm not down for my power to be taken away. All right, so I pulled some cards last night. I meditated, prayed, I pulled some cards. So I haven't read them yet, so I'll read them now. Okay. Where's my book? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. How we take it back. Well, share your passions, share your information, do lives. Like, this is a way that I take my power back. I speak my authentic voice. What I see, what I know, how I feel, and because everyone has their own strengths. Okay? So, and and everyone has a different way of seeing things. So not giving in to the fear, not giving in to supporting the networks by watching their bullshit on the news. There's other ways to get resources. I haven't had a TV since I was 20 years old. Okay, that's 20 years without having a television. And for some reason, people make it the center of their living room and they complain about paying $180 towards Comcast. And we all know everyone hates Comcast because they're jerks and they rip you off, but you all still give them money. I canceled mine. I took my box back last year. I was like, here, have it. I don't want any of it. And that was just for internet. So I get it off my hotspot. So this card I pulled, and it's card 18, which is a 9, which is endings. It says, no need to fear. Remember how powerful you are. So this is actually a really good card right now. And I'll read that. Get a little sippy whip. And if at all possible, my advice is to support all the local businesses, all the small mom and pop shops. I would shop there before Walmart any day of the week. That's how you take your power back too. Making sure that we have other stores that are getting support than just the corporations and monopolies that don't even pay their employees enough. Okay, so no need to fear. Ready? Remember how powerful you are. Alice knew it was the rabbit coming to look for her, and she trembled till she shook the house, quiet, forgetting that she was now about 1,000 times as large as the rabbit and had no reason to be afraid of it. Wow, do you remember that part in Alice in Wonderland when I think she ate something and she grew super big? She like outgrew pretty much the house that she was in. That's what it's referring to. When we are unfamiliar circumstances and we feel confronted by the events unfolding about us, which in so many ways entered our lives through choices we made, okay? Because we all have a choice. We all have a choice who to work, who to support, where to spend our money, what to focus our energy on. We have choices on who we want a partnership with, who we want to marry, who we want in a relationship, where we want to live. We have all those freedoms, whether you think so or not, we do. We can feel fearful, doubtful, and even intimidated. We may be nervous, appeasing, and diminishing in these circumstances. Despite the strangeness of all this that is about you, this card has come to remind you of your substance, your power, and your right to be assertive and to take up space. You feel frightened at the moment, but this is because you have forgotten how much energy you have within you. Rationally, you have nothing to be frightened of. Take a moment to remind yourself of the power within you and confront what it is you have been hiding from. For you are larger, more immense, more impressive, and more influential than you currently believe. Remind yourself of all the great and fine qualities you have: your wit, your courage, your strength, your tenacity, and you will find your courage again. You will realize more than equal to those about you and more than able to cope with the circumstances you find yourself within. Like Alice, you are larger than that which you are afraid of. Remember this now and go forward with confidence and strength. The deviation for this card is you may be afraid out of habit, not out of reason. Feeling intimidated, but without need. Remember how many reasons you have to feel confident. Go forward with courage. You are more powerful than you are feeling. Others cannot harm you as you are so strong. So that is kind of a perfect card that goes with the energy that's being felt today. And then I will read one more card. Please share this video. You can go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's another way to support me. The link is in my bio. And you will get notifications whenever I upload a new video. So I have a lot of good information in all my videos. Just because it has a specific date doesn't mean that there's not a message for you. So I picked the Sea Serpent, which it looks like a very Plutonian card. So we'll read it. So this is the Sea Serpent. This is a spirit card. So out of the whole deck, there is all four elements: the water, the air, the water, and the earth. And then there's the spirit cards, which are the special cards. So here's this Sea Serpent. Healing emotional wounds, expressing desires. The Sea Serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The Sea Serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and endearing. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the Sea Serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of your emotional lives look like, the Sea Serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true nature. The Sea Serpent is the second chakra. So that would be the sacral chakra. And the subtle energy of the Sea Serpent occupies the area of this chakra. Located deep within the pelvic bowl, this chakra is known as the center of creativity and desire and is associated with the water element. This chakra means in her own abode, indicating this chakra is the home of the Divine Mother or the Kundalini herself. So that was a good card. So this card, yeah, especially because we're in this watery energy, because Neptune and Mercury are conjunct right now, this is a great time to get creative. So if you have anything creative at home that you could do, if you have a canvas or a paintbrush, pick that up If you have any jewelry or beadings, pick that up. If you've been wanting to paint a wall in your house or do a creative project, tonight would be a really good night to do that, as well as embracing your feminine energy, meaning being mothering to yourself, self-care, take a bath, paint your nails, dye your hair, do a facial, be mothering and nurturing to those that you love or that's around you. So those, I'll end with that. Thank you for joining. Thank you for liking, sharing my video, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I have a link, which if you click on that link, it'll bring up all my social media links. I have an Instagram, a YouTube, I have a WordPress where I do some bloggings once in a while. That was my main source of social media before my YouTube. I have my Etsy shop where I sell art and jewelry. And if you're interested in getting any crystals, just let me know what crystals and I can get them for you. And yeah, if anyone in my local area is in need of some toilet paper, I have some extras to share. And yeah, if you need anything, just let me know. I do life coaching, helping people be put on their purpose, working through any hard times, deaths of relationships, anything like that. I also do astrology chart readings, and I do card readings. So if you're interested, go ahead and PM me, and please share this video so we can get more knowledge and information and spread more light and love in the world. So thank you, Gen X baby. Totally rewatch Nancy. And I hope you guys have a beautiful Friday, a transformational, focusing on the Jupiter transformation, leaving the ashes behind and stepping into your power and your purpose. All right. Peace out, y'all. Love you. Your Lucid Living Coach, Karina.